I mean, you can't control what happens, so might as well learn a way to accept what does happen.
That's why I can so easily detach myself from certain animals. Um,
I mean,
'cause-
it is sad. Like, obviously, you should have some attachment to
yeah,
things,
yeah. But when you
but
know
at the
it's
same
like
time,
they're really hard.
attachment can also be like a negative thing. You
Yeah,
gotta be realistic. You gotta be straightforward. I mean, if you let yourself live in a fantasy, like if, for example, in your situation, if you have an old pet and they're just getting really old, if
yeah,
you just keep putting off the thought of something negative or whatever,
yeah,
or just deny it in your own head, whatever, then I mean, it's just gonna hurt a lot more than if you're like, okay, this might happen. Enjoy what I have.
yeah.
Just be straightforward with yourself.
Ooh,
Okay? Oh, dude, nice dodge. I like the selfie.
yeah.
Do you you know what this dude reminds me of?
Frapro.
Uh
Oh, fail.
well, honestly, not far off, but I was thinking more game.
You completely cut out. We did not hear a
Like,
damn thing.
I see. Okay, it reminds me of the I forget, I don't know if he even has a name, but his name is like the Helltaker from the Helltaker game.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
a it's a, basically a funny puzzle game.
yeah. I've
Uh
heard of it.
really wholesome community. Really funny. Community is one of the most wholesome out of, gaming, which is really odd, but always
Yeah, you
welcome.
wouldn't think of it. It's like that. You wouldn't think of that one, but
Yeah, it's
obviously
like,
it's like, oh, it is, huh? I just did that without getting hit. Second run it immediately destroys the first guy. Feels
short.
good.
I know.
Mm. I was kind of going hardcore there. I was surprised I didn't
You
get
were.
hit. I was like
You,
really trying to make sure I didn't
you're.
get hit because I had the good gear. I had some decent
I know. You were.
gear.
You were. You were. You were going Ultra Instinct mode on that.
Yeah. So
Quite impressive.
wow. I'll let my scythe do extra damage,
Wow.
you know. Mm.
Right. I mean, why
My
not?
scythe is just getting all the perks. Like by the end, it's gonna do like 50 damage or something. When it does like 10 now, right? Mm. Um. Next question. Because we're at chill moment.
Right.
I've got a bunch of talking to do here.
We are. We are really at a chill moment. Let's see. Do you ever feel when you're going outside you put on a mask? I assume you mean like this is you're
Like,
afraid of people finding out like who you truly are. You're putting
I,
up more of a persona instead of being your more true self.
I mean, what I mean is like, is basically you don't like, you're someone. It's not the fear of being found out. It's more of like you're. At least for me. Let me explain from my point. With the question, I was
Right.
kind of asking because when I was younger, I would get because I got bullied. I basically turned into like a background character who says nothing, does not emote, and just blends in. Like would make his entire effort
Right.
to
Just
not
the
be
stale
noticed.
faced like line and two dot character in the
Yeah,
background of an
like
anime.
background character number 4. Like that's who I was. But
Right.
now, as
I
I've gotten
mean,
older and
you
I am
didn't
getting
have the
bullied,
glamour.
yeah, as I've gotten
Right.
older and I'm not like I've been able to deal with bullies better. I've been able to get out of that shell a lot better. Like I can
And
crack jokes and
develop
whatnot
more.
and show like my
Right.
feelings and whatnot better. But definitely when I was younger, it was like there were two different people. It was like the gamer at home, and then at school it's just the background character who doesn't want to be there.
Right. I mean, fair enough. I feel like a lot of people do struggle with that at some point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of issues with that mentality
Yeah.
in the beginning. I mean, it is a bit of what I said then. It's just
Yeah.
you don't necessarily feel comfortable in your own skin at the moment.
Mhm.
Uh, situations and environment often make a lot of impact on us, especially as children.
Yeah.
So, but and honestly, I did at one point kind of feel like that, but
Mhm.
I've just been more likely to be unapologetically myself. I don't
Yeah.
see any real point in it.
Yeah. When I thought of the question, it was just more of like, because I knew how I was when I was younger, and I didn't know
Right.
if you've ever
I
noticed
do
it or if
understand that.
you've done it before.
Right. Or felt this something
Yeah.
similar in a way.
Do you feel like you're putting on a face
And
outside?
I feel like a lot of us have. I feel like that's a problem a lot of people have is just not really feeling comfortable like being completely themselves in front of others that they might respect or even not respect, but just not comfortable with what you're doing yourself. So
Yeah.
you don't want others to know. I don't know. The point is just no point in it. Be yourself. Be relaxed.
Yeah. That was just something I was like when I had to. Because when I think of these questions nowadays, because I can't just Google it, I've been like, okay, let me watch. Like it's basically just me watching a video, and then it's like, wait a second, I wonder if he's ever experienced this, or if I think of an
Right.
interesting like something that would be an easy go into, but could develop into something much more bigger.
Right. And honestly, you've come up with some great questions, man. I gotta give
Yeah,
it to you. I'm not good at this part of the job. I'm really
yeah.
not. Like the whole editing and like coming up with questions, talking. I'm not really good at
I will
that
admit it's
stuff.
very basic
I just
editing. It's not that advanced yet.
it's not even
uh,
it's not the most complex, but it's still sadly more complex than what I could do. Like I've I figured out the basic form of like beep and then that was it. Like
yeah,
censorship and like how to cut certain parts. But honestly, I gave up on my first channel.
yeah.
Didn't really I had traction, just couldn't get into it by myself. I can't do something like this on my own. Definitely not.
Hmm.
What, the movement of this enemy? It is a bit weird.
Yeah, this
Feels off
not the
timed,
big
you
guys,
know?
the little guys, because they charge me if I stay there long enough. So I have to one kill the big guy, and I have to get behind them and hit them and sit still. But then the other guys are charging to attack me, so I have to keep moving. And so I was like, okay, I just gotta get out of here if I'm gonna start talking. um, yeah, but yeah, I just randomly think of questions or like that. What makes Chimera human? That was just from an anime because it was like it's an interesting question that's
I mean,
really
honestly, yeah. Fair
that
enough.
was just a freebie.
That's right. And there's a lot of questions like that. Anime is a really good way to. Actually, that's a good subject to go into.
Mm-hmm.
How animation and anime really handle a lot of heavier topics. And also, honestly, just animation itself. I
Yeah,
believe that animation will. Alright, here's something to get that started. I believe that animation will always be better, like an anime movie will always be better than on a like an conceptual level than a actual like not animated but like actors doing
yeah,
it because with an animation you can actually make things perfect.
yeah,
If you know what you're doing, you can make things perfect. An actor doing something hundreds of times over again, you could still end up with nothing good. There's the character things, there's the idea of it's easier to translate heavier topics, without it becoming like, oh, this is a bit hard to watch because it's like too right close to home. You know, it's easier. I guess it's sometimes easier for people to relate to an animated character than it would be a real person, because a lot of people would just feel uncomfortable if another human was just talking straight out problems that people struggle to face. Okay, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. You should have seen me last. You should have seen me in just the last room here. I was getting hit.
I know.
I've
been watching.
Okay.
You were kind of getting your ass kicked, but you've been performing well. You've been doing it. I mean, once again, I'm not a professional. I just believe that conveyance of like choreography of like a fight scene, an emotional scene, that will always be better and more fluent in animation than like IRL actors.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's common sense based on how they're made.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that obviously it would always be better,
No,
because
no.
there's obviously a lot
There's
of
always the
like actors acting movies that, you know, do really good and animated movies that do really bad.
Yeah.
But if you
There are
have
extremes in every scenario.
an animated movie that knows how to really do something like huge, then just as much, and you put that against a movie with actors who can also do this, like have same amount of talent in what they do,
Yeah.
I just believe animation would be better. I had an example of this just a second ago. Damn it. Like Pixar. Pixar deals with a lot of really heavy topics and ideas that just like the movie Up. That movie would not work if it was like with real people. But that movie, with it being animated and like how like animation works in comparison, I feel like it just made the movie work better. And that wasn't even hard. That's not even like a hard thing to say.
If I had to think of a movie, I think of Inside personally, because that's the only movie that's ever been able to make me cry before.
Inside Out, the movie about how your emotions and how they affect you, and how it's important to actually experience all of them and to bottle up things. It's actually the most unhealthy thing you can do, even though it feels better in the moment. It's not a long-term fix. Right, yes. Alright.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. I just didn't have the because I kind of forgot about it.
Great movie. Great movie. It, not my favorite. Honestly.
Fucking don't even.
Oh shit.
I forgot how Intriguing 4 did. It was a challenge room. I completely forgot.
Okay,
The last one I did was that, except it was a lot easier, so all I had to do was do a dash. All I had to do was do a dash,
right.
do a skinny row of spikes, and it was like, okay, this was a lot more complicated. For a newbie, that's a hard room. Like, no joke, if I had no experience in the game, that was a BS room. Like, there's no one who would be able to do that in their first run without previous knowledge. Oh my god. But yeah,
okay.
Going with your, with the whole
animation can convey things better.
I also think I mostly got this from another creator that I know, who, like, they were talking about how animal characters. I'm trying to think what they.
Right.
Animal characters can convey things.
Anthropomorphic.
Yes.
Animals.
Can convey things so well. You might think, oh, it'd be harder to convey, but it's surprising how easy and how easy and
how well, not easy, but how more natural feeling it can feel to see a not natural character doing a natural thing, because the ability to like copy and paste an already perfect thing and you can still improve upon it is just better.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave all the explaining
All right.
because I can't talk for all get out. Like, explain things of, like, your thing, and I'm the one who brings up the topic.
Honestly, yeah, kind of perfect. I've got a lot of heavy opinions that I struggle to talk about on my own, and you've got a lot of questions and thought processes that are interesting to bounce off of.
Like, and just for, in case if I was thinking of the wrong thing, just so people can look it up themselves, it was a Saber Spark. He recently did a video on this this animated short called Fueled. I doubt you've watched it before, but it's
What is
apparently
it?
won a bunch of awards. It's a short animation called Fueled. On I assume it's on
Right,
YouTube. If it's not on YouTube, I'd be surprised. But Saber Spark
right.
did a review of it, and he constantly talks about how easy it is. He says it much better and explains it a lot better. But he
Better
constantly
than
talks.
probably either of
Yes,
us could,
yes,
but
yes, much better. But
we
he
have
constantly
a,
brags like how easy it is, how commonly it is for
an animation to do a better job.
how easy it is for anthropomorphic characters, how easy it is to convey and stuff. Like, it's easier for people to
Convey
to
themselves in
handle.
a human way. Right,
Yeah,
because, and I understand what you're saying. I kind of touched on that in a very different way before.
yeah,
Just like it's somewhat easier to like emphasize with the thing that isn't necessarily a human in a way. In a strange way, it kind of feels easier, more non-specific, not being specific at all would honestly, I feel like that really carries it because
yeah.
anyone's able to implement themselves in the situation probably easier as well. All right, you got this. You got this. Okay. Okay. Maybe
God
not.
damn it. I had 2 more heals.
Oh.
I really should use them. God damn it. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe just the slightest bit.
I've been actually having trouble recently getting to him. Like, when I play it by myself, he's actually been a hard thing to get to. And of course I get to him this time and then immediately die to him. Like, I use my ultimate and then immediately dies. Oh god. Overwatch in a nutshell.
Unfortunate.
For new players.
Oh, well, that's...
Alright. So, next question.
Right.
You went off on your own tangent that worked out pretty well.
We definitely, do I know any dance moves? I'll leave this one to you entirely, man.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with how creative I am and how lackluster you are. I can totally understand that.
Well, I mean, harsh, but also fair. I'm not
Okay,
I'm
listen,
not a dancer in any way.
I have some decent judgment because, like, I've talked to you about nicknames. I've talked to you about making, like, what would you say is your favorite color and all these other things that would be personal or, like, to you or whatever. But, like, you're consistently giving me, like, generic.
I'm not a very
like,
personal
yeah,
dude.
You're very.
I'm very robotic at times.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I don't think there's gonna be a change to that, but
Yeah, that's why I come.
I don't think there needs to be. Exactly.
Yeah. I will say I am, because I was bullied, I am severely shy, so I will not dance anywhere where I think there's sight lines to other people. Like around the
Right.
house.
I
Or
mean,
if I think I turn the corner and I think anyone's gonna see me, then maybe I might do like kind of a shuffle, like some kind of walking dance, but you know, it's very hidden. Like, I'm very careful about when I do it.
right. I mean, fair enough. I don't really dance. The worst thing I do, I kind of sing. And
Yeah.
I mean, I use sing with quotations, and that's also when I'm like alone.
Yeah.
Not because I was bullied, I just don't think I'm the best singer. And I'm like, nah, that's not something I need to share.
I recently asked my mom, I was like, how do people know if they're tone deaf? Because, like, I know I've seen in movies where it's like if someone's super tone deaf, it's like, oh my god, they sound like complete garbage.
It sounded like ass.
Yeah, you know, how could you tell that ahead of time? Because I would love to know if I sound horrible.
Yes.
But obviously, it's like, how
Fair
would you
enough.
know? It's not like, I mean, then again, I probably could also Google it, so I didn't do too much research into that effort. But at the same time, it was like, do people ever really know if they're out of tune, or is it like? Because I assume if they hear singing and they don't realize it, then clearly they think they're not out of tune, or they can't tell they're out of tune. So how would you know? You know?
Right. I guess that is the kind of thing. I guess I've got no comment on that. I'm gonna be straightforward with you, man. Like dancing, like
It's out
singing,
of your element.
I've got nothing for you on that. Nah. My element's definitely more history, geography. Like I mean, I can get an 88% on a map of Europe quiz in like 2 minutes, but I mean, I can't. I could not.
Don't take you to the dance
I could not dance. No, I mean, you take me to the disco, I won't even get on the floor. I like that old type of rock and roll. Sorry, you don't get that reference, I'm sure, but
I mean, I know you get down like boogie. Like, I know that there are references to getting down.
right.
There are
I'm just
been plenty of references
that was a song lyric
okay.
was what the thing is.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, you got this?
Yeah, I'm good. I
Good.
just have to go quiet.
I like that little dive bomb like move you got.
Yeah. There's also, I will say, I've never used this attack.
Like the quick insta drop?
Still, but there's this move. Which lets me do like a little explosion. But honestly, because I
Does it do good damage?
It is a charged attack, so it does more damage. But I've never wanted.
But at the same time,
to use it, you know?
I know. I mean, you never seem to want to sit still in any game, man.
Well, it's mostly these games because honestly, I always assume there's gonna be something about to shoot at me, or if I know there's gonna be an enemy charging at me, like that little.
Like then there's no point.
Earlier, then yeah, it's like I'm gonna get hit for getting this. I could be interrupted by it as well, honestly, because I know one of the updates to the
Honestly,
site is a super powerful like site that can't be interrupted.
I can.
That you can't be interrupted in your attack, so it'd be like, can you get interrupted while you're what? I saw a lock.
I don't.
Like maybe
I don't know.
Secret door.
Right.
But anyway.
Sorry. No such luck.
I was holding my breath because I thought I could get around her.
Right.
Dog. Next question.
Oh, right. Sorry.
You're fine.
The next question. Oh, dude. I mean, I don't think I've danced since I was like 5.
Yeah.
Like, that is just. I tried it once and I'm like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. Alright. Do I wear glasses or use contacts? Do you?
Yes, I wear glasses.
Same. And by wear glasses, I mean I'm supposed to wear glasses, and no matter what, like 9 times out of 10, I don't. Dude, I remember this. I remember when you showed me this boss before.
That didn't work out.
Oh damn. No, not at all. But honestly, this guy does seem a bit weaker compared to a lot of the others.
Oh yeah, no, he's a mini boss.
Oh.
He's a mini boss.
Right, that was. Musical size, deals 1 damage. Alright.
We'll add him eventually, hopefully. Maybe I'll get
Right.
lucky and one of the bosses will need like 1 more hit of damage and I'll have that 1 more point of damage on my site. Anyway, so you wear glass.
Right. I do wear
Do
glasses.
you not wear them because they're uncomfortable, or because you think they make you look good? Like why is it just like you're not
Mm,
naturally wearing them or something? Because I've always had. Well,
it's just not natural.
okay,
I was basically okay. This is also going to be a bit weird.
yeah,
I'm both nearsighted and farsighted. Like I'm
okay,
nearsighted in one eye and farsighted in the other. It's
wow,
really weird.
okay,
I know. I've gone
that's
my
interesting.
entire life. I've gone my entire life with that, and now just looking at the world in either way, like either one of them feels natural. Like that's putting on glasses is weird. It's like, oh, trees aren't just giant colors of brown. They actually have individual branches that you can somewhat see through. That's a changing moment in your life,
Yeah, I
and I'm
just
still not used to it.
I think I've always been like now. I haven't always followed the way you should put on glasses, like because when I was first
You're
told, I
supposed to
learned.
put them on in a specific way.
Well,
You don't
it's just
just
that you don't want to
keep them
bend them
around
hard.
randomly and slap them on.
Well,
Yeah.
the idea is that you don't want to pull them straight off because the front of your, well, at least in my case, I don't know if it's probably not the case for most, but I was told that you don't want to pull them towards the front because it, your head is bigger towards the front than your towards the top. You probably don't
Right.
know. It's very weird advice
I
that I've
don't.
never taken to heart. I've never taken it for real. But like I've been told it, so I just kind of recite it as I can remember it. But that's because it was a long time ago. Like I've only been told once, and honestly, I never
Right.
used it or no
You
one
know,
ever
it
told
is a
me
bit odd.
afterwards.
Right. It's a bit odd how many things from our childhood just grow up and we naturally assume they're true because it's like a predetermined thing from childhood, obviously, that, I mean, just feels like it's common sense, natural law just because it was something specific and it just feels true now, even if
Yeah.
it might not be. I don't know. I
Now,
bring up weird conversations, man.
yeah, you're the
Really
weird.
weird shit.
You're the weird
I'm the
side.
weird.
I'm the
Yes.
creative, straightforward one, and you're the weird one. You're the deep weird one.
Right.
Also, two different things just off the top of my head. How you liking the cold? Like, are you really
The
enjoying it,
cold?
or is it not cold where you live?
Okay.
Because it's been cold like around here constantly, so I'm loving it.
On it. Honestly, it's been about a perfect 50-50, which is okay. It's been around 50 degrees Fahrenheit as of recently. That's pretty average for me.
Yeah.
Alright. Actually, let me ask you a question. Would you rather freeze to death or burn to death? In, like, relevance to seasons, because when it's summer, I definitely feel like I'm burning to death.
I feel like freezing would just be like I get what you're saying, but because I know you can feel like it's a different kind of burn, but it does feel like burning when you're. I mean, I guess freezing because then you might be more peaceful. You accept the fact, even if it's just as painful.
Right.
Is what I was thinking because I think they're
Well,
just
the likelihood is it's more of a really uncomfortable, like, pinch across your entire body. That's frostbite. But don't worry, with like 2 minutes, you'll feel absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
You'll
that's
feel
what I was
better
thinking.
than anything,
That's what I was
and
trying to
then you
say.
just die.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
was
I
trying
guess
to
fires.
say
I guess burning to death would
like
also
quicker.
give you a similar effect because,
What
like, while yes, I feel like that would like it would be more painful, but eventually the nerves that are being like tortured as you're burning would eventually just stop working. They just wouldn't be there. So eventually it would give you the same effect as, I mean, is you just your body's just been through so much it just doesn't feel anything anymore. It can't. There's nothing to feel. That's a weird thought and upsetting for a lot of people, I'm sure.
For me, it would definitely be cold because fire just sounds more painful, and I don't imagine
Right.
I'd be The other one I think I could fall asleep to. I think being on fire, I don't think I could fall asleep exactly. Like, obviously, after a certain amount of time, I'd be either exhausted or just straight up dead, so it's not like I'd be constantly writhing in pain. It's just kind of like the whole immediate pain would be more of a problem.
Like, immediate response.
Yeah.
Fair enough.